Hi, I'm Angela Shetty. I'm your Unit Coordinator for NUR329 in Semester 2, 2018. I'm just going to provide you with a brief overview now of Assignment 3, which is your pictorial health promotion. This relates to your learning outcomes 1, 2 and 5, and it's worth 10% of your overall grade. We've given the word count for this between 5 and 1,000 words because that really depends on the type of pictorial that you're going to submit. Okay, so why a health pictorial? Well, as you know, this should go hand in hand with the assessment too. So you've already identified your target group and outlined your health promotion project. You've set up a message or a health logo. So these are examples of the type of health promotion education that you'll see all around you in the community, both as nurses to get messages through to you, to get messages through to the people that your clients you're working with, and to get messages through the general public. And as a registered nurse, you can have lots of opportunity to provide education, promote healthy behaviours and healthy choices with the clients and communities you work. And how you go about this is going to really have to depend on your target group's health literacy levels and the type of messages that you're aiming to share. So pictorials are a well-known and respected resource to convey health messages, and they require sound consideration to ensure they are attention-getting and relay an appropriate message. So what we're asking you to do is put together a pictorial representation of your health promotion project that you outlined in Assessment 2. So it can be in the form of a poster, a flyer, a newspaper advertisement, an information brochure, or you might want to negotiate a different type of presentation with me. You might want to put a YouTube or something together, and that's fine. But what it does have to do is relate to what you have done in Assignment 2, okay? And it should include the health message or logo that you outlined in there. So review your public health promotion project that you did in your Assignment 2 and consider what's going to be visual appealing for your target group, okay? And what's going to effectively represent your health promotion. Have a look through this YouTube, obviously, and then think about what sort of medium you might want to use. PowerPoint, Word, other formats. They're all actually acceptable for this submission, okay? The submission link will take any of those sorts of files. And so we have provided you with some resources and some examples in Assignment 3 information. So you can have a look at what past students have done and get some ideas about what we might be looking for and what might work for your health promotion project. So if you're really unsure, then please get in contact with me because we can always point you in the right direction and give you a little bit of help. And we do have an education technologist here who can point you in the right direction as to how to use PowerPoint and things like that as well. As I said at the beginning, the word limit's listed between 5 and 1,000 words because it really just depends on the type of pictorial representation. Obviously a poster might only have a few words, might only have 5 words or something, whereas if you're going to do a brochure, it's going to have a little bit more information. So include a reference list using APA style, and this should include references for any text or images and so forth that you've used. Now, please note you can submit your reference list as a separate Word document to your pictorial if required. And you don't have to include references on your pictorial if it will affect the quality of the presentation. So if you have got a picture like I have on the slide here of newspapers, you don't have to reference that underneath, okay? You can just put it on your reference list later. Newspaper image sourced from, okay? And it might be from clipart, it might be Google, it might have a web link for you to use. What we also don't want you to do is become over-reliant on what other health promotion areas have used. So by all means, take images and everything off the internet and so forth. There's lots out there, but be a little bit considerate about what you use and how you use it, okay? Make sure the images are nice and clear. If you're using something that actually has some writing on it, make sure we can read the writing so the text is not blurred or anything. Make sure that if you're putting your own text over images that they can read them. So you're not using a light coloured text over a light coloured photo and we can't actually see what the message is that you're getting through. So all of those types of presentations are really important. So please submit your assignment through the Safe Assignment link that we've provided in the unit. And the submission point for Assessment 3 will accept more than one submission. This means you can submit a separate reference list. This might mean you've got a couple of different slides that you might have for your pictorial representation, and that's fine. You can submit as many of those as you need to. This is the marking rubric that we're going to use for the pictorial. So the majority of your marks are actually aligned with that your pictorial aligns with assignment 2 and provides an accurate representation of the health promotion, and that it's appropriate for the target group that you identified in assignment 2. So this means if we're looking at a target group that was children, for example, that you've outlined in assignment 2, we're going to be looking at the images and making sure that they would be appealing to children, okay, that children would understand the message that you're putting up in your pictorial. And that if you're using language and text and so forth, that they would be able to read it and understand the messages that you're getting through. The second areas of your marks really going to that it's original and innovative, community-focused health promotion that we're seeing there. And so you're not just reusing health promotion images and texts that have already been used by other organisations such as the Cancer Council or something. Okay, we want to see that you are using images and so forth, but you're putting it together in your own health pictorial. And we're also then obviously having a look at that it demonstrates quality and consideration in its design features and visual appeal. So this is all about, as I mentioned before, making sure that if you've got text that we can actually read it, that it's not so small that for a poster that people are going to walk past it and not be able to actually see what the messages are on there, and that the colours and images are not blurry and that they look visually appealing. So this is a pictorial that the student gave us permission to use to show to other students, and I will be asking you guys for permission as well. If you have been on our campuses for simulation blocks and so forth, you most likely would have seen a poster put up with a whole heap of pictorials that students have prepared for this unit that we're given permission to actually to use and showcase a little bit, because there's some amazing work that you guys can do out there. So this one is hypertension, not to be taken with a grain of salt, and you can see that they've then got SALT as a little acronym for more information there. There's good points and bad points to this particular one. I'm not going to say, I can't remember what we marked this one as anyway, but there's some good images there, and it's pretty obvious what the target group is. But we've also got an image there that says good fats and bad fats, and that's where I was sort of saying, it's really hard to read what's actually written on that there, and that's the sort of thing that will drop marks. So even though it's actually quite a great looking pictorial, if we can't read the information there, then the message isn't going to get through, and that's the sort of thing where we'd be looking to give you feedback and sort of say, you should change those sort of images. A different one again here. This is just one slide from a brochure, so it did have a second slide as well, but just to give you an idea of how some of the presentation can vary. Okay, so just some nice, neat, succinct information on there. Last one here. Again, this one looks quite professionally done, and it's a good poster, and it's aimed obviously at youth about glucose monitoring and so forth. But what we would check with something like this is to make sure that the images that are being used here haven't just been taken off something smart glucose monitoring that's actually in existence. We want to double check that this is your own idea. But otherwise, really nice presentation there as well. So hopefully this has given you some good ideas about where to go for your health promotion pictorial, and you've got a great idea of how to get started with assignment 3. If you've got any questions at all, please get in contact with me and we can help point you in the right direction. But first of all, make sure you have a look at the resources that we've provided in the assignment 3 outline, because we have pointed you in the right direction of how to actually put together PowerPoints to do pictorials and so forth. And we've got a few more student examples there that are really nice to have a look through. Okay, good luck with it all.